Well, hello there, and I do hope you're all well. Right, Tory MP Right Honourable Jesse Norman really destroys a dodgy and arrogant government on the legislation consideration in committee of the Northern Ireland Protocol, and this was on day one. Well, you know where they seem to think that this government think they can just be like, rule Britannia, Britannia waves the rules, and what he has to say is very eye-opening.
Jesse Norman.
Thank you very much indeed, Dame Eleanor. It's been a splendid debate, and it's my happy privilege to stand as the thorn between two legal roses, and my honourable friend, the member for Bromley and Chislehurst, the acuity of whose interventions has been noted by the House, and the soaring rhetoric and legal genius of my friend, the former Attorney General, to my right. And everyone in this House, I will be brief, everyone in this House recognises, I'm sure, that it is vital to make the Northern Ireland Protocol work better, that the EU has, in points described and discussed today, been intransigent and could do with more direct input from our friends and ally member states, France, Germany, Holland and the rest. And also recognises that we need an improved and supported political settlement and situation in Northern Ireland. But unfortunately, for reasons that have been contemplated and discussed here, and which I will briefly summarise, this bill is not the answer. It has been properly pointed out that the doctrine of necessity does not apply in anything like the way the government described. I'm not a lawyer myself, but even I can see it when the Minister at the dispatch box concedes that immediacy is not at stake and not implied by the conception of urgency that he wishes to deploy, or that the government wishes to deploy. In breaching international law, for the reasons the former Attorney General has set out, the bill breaks the general principle that promises must be kept. But this is itself an unwritten principle of the British Constitution, and so this bill is also a contravention of our Constitution. And of course, it appears to breach Article 5 of the Withdrawal Agreement, in which both parties, the UK and the EU, state that they will faithfully enact the measures to fulfil their obligations arising from the agreement. And finally, as has been pointed out, the very wide powers contemplated under Clause 4 are themselves a clear conflict with the rule of law in the ministerial discretion that they confer. So, in principle, this bill is extremely unwise, to say the least, but it is also, in pragmatic terms, misguided and likely to be counterproductive. As my right honourable friend has mentioned, there is no long-term solution to be reached by a unilateral attempt to impose one side's will on a shared international treaty. And of course, there is no reason to think that this will change the EU's behaviour in relation to Northern Ireland. Why should it? The EU's concern is that the UK has been untrustworthy, and far from allaying that concern, this bill actively reinforces it. And if the EU made a concession in response, if by chance it struck a new agreement on the basis of the pressure supposedly conferred by this legislation with the UK, why should it believe then that the UK would then abide by such a new agreement?
Honourable Jesse Norman, I think you're in the wrong party. You speak in truth. You can't be having this. You are a traitor, and you just need to believe more. And if you're not careful, Priti Patel I will soon get into you.
Because that whole rationale would already have been destroyed. And of course, for reasons already discussed, this is merely the beginning of the potential trouble involved. The member, right honourable for Lagan Valley, properly talked about the integrity of the United Kingdom. He was absolutely right to flag that. But there is another kind of integrity that is at stake here, and it is the integrity of our overall British patriotic desire to project ourselves as a nation of a historic willingness to lead in matters of reputation and international law. That integrity is being put at risk by this piece of legislation. I'm not going to support my honourable friend's amendment, not because it's not a perfectly fine piece of drafting, but because this bill is unamendably bad, in my judgment, and I very much hope that this House will not see it through, and if it does, that the bill will be rejected at second reading by the other chamber.
The reason why it's eye-opening for me is because, to be honest, I felt like I needed to have a long shower listening to Jesse Norman because I was agreeing with everything he said. Now look what you've done, Bodge. You've got me agreeing with some Tories. Gotta feel so dirty. If I carry on like this, I'll be soon working for Conservatives' homes. No, I don't think so, but I do hope you enjoyed it, because I have to say, listen to him, I was just sat there nodding away, yes, totally agree. But anyway, 2 things before I go. Those who watched my son's video, thank you, much appreciated, and so does my son. And secondly, have a wonderful weekend, and enjoy the sun, and take care, and see you Monday or whenever. So, bye for now, and take care.